Hello, welcome. Today you're coming to the Cult of Void to confess. Confess your sins. That's what we're doing today. So if you would like to stick around and read through r/confessions with me, maybe even comment one of your own confessions, perhaps, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. First confession. I went to the grocery store today to purchase tomatoes. I bought 3 tomatoes. 2 were on the vine for $1.89 per pound. One was a big, fat, juicy hothouse tomato at $3.89 per pound. That's expensive for a tomato. I used self-checkout and purchased all 3 at the on-the-vine price. On the drive home, I told my wife what I did. I proceeded to laugh like Dr. Evil. She was not amused. She was shocked. Adding to my mischievous ways, I then told her how I gently held the thin produce bag off the scale a bit to reduce the actual weight. Add in maniacal laughter here. I'm not doing it, okay? She is not talking to me at the moment. My confession is that I have been doing this my whole life, as many of you have. And I am sorry I didn't tell my wife this earlier. Who knew that doing this would bring me so much peace? Oh my god. Silence is golden. P.S. Don't ask me what I ring up when I get shallots. More maniacal laughter. Edit 1. Said not to ask about the shallots, but I go with the Vidalia onions in season and white otherwise. Edit 2. It seems that about 87% of you agree, and the rest of Reddit thinks that we're the downfall of humanity. Hail evil! P.S. My silent vacation didn't last much past originally posting this. I mean, if you've got to get your thrills one way, mate, whatever tickles your pickle, my love. So then down in the comments, Starchasm says, confession. When I was a cashier, I used to ring up people's tomatoes, any variant, as whatever tomato variant was the cheapest. And then Wise Foundation 4051 says, class solidarity. Hope your day is lovely. Lol. And then Without Dennis Nedry says, I hope your life is lovely. What a nice thing to do. Could have got you the sack though. Perhaps don't do that when you're at work. I got unlimited free food for 2 years thanks to a glitch in my university's Grubhub integration. This happened in college, 2019 to 2020, right around when my university started using Grubhub for on-campus dining. They linked meals to the app so you could order from places like Chick-fil-A, Panera, Subway, Panda Express, Cane's, etc., right from your phone. Well, after the first week, something broke. The app stopped deducting anything from my meal plan. I could order unlimited food, and oh boy, I went feral with it. I didn't spend a single dollar on food for nearly 2 years, aside from restaurants and alcohol. I ate like royalty, ordering multiple full meals a day, grabbing food for friends, strangers, anyone near me. One time I picked up 9 full-sized Panda Express plates for everyone I was hanging out with. My sister would visit and we'd hit up Denny's and order 3 meals each, splitting everything and still leaving with leftovers. It became a regular thing. Panera, Subway, Cane's, Starbucks, Sushi, Pizza Hut, you name it. I was getting it, and getting it for free. When I became a junior, I got the meal plan again, just to see if the glitch still worked. And it did. Eventually they started catching on and patched it. Kinda. All the places stopped working except Panera, so I spent my last few weeks going absolutely nuts at Panera. Didn't know what soup to get them all. Couldn't decide on a sandwich, got both. Bagels for breakfast, lunch and dinner, no regrets. It was the most legendary food hack of my life, and I think about it. That's like crazy though, that you were doing that for so long and like getting so much and they never clocked on. That's actually mental. At that point you kind of have to think that, well, they clearly want me to have it, don't they? That is not a recommendation from me, by the way. I'm not telling you to exploit something like that if you find a glitch in the system. Absolutely not. The Void would never. So then down in the comments, Wumpus Fail says, I remember when some other dining delivery service stopped charging for a few days. The transactions happened, no money was charged. The glitch spread like wildfire across the internet. Then the company fixed the glitch and corrected the billing. People had huge balances hit in their accounts, or am I remembering wrong? And then True Russia says, It was DoorDash, and you are correct. Yeah, see, that's the problem, because if someone decides then to just go, oh, by the way, company, or share it around going, oh, everyone, you could do this, well, then the company know, and they're obviously going to stop it, aren't they? It's like when during the old Rona times, and there was always those glitches on online shopping where, say, something that was like £200 would be coming up as a tenner, and you could order it for a tenner, and then some absolute bumhole would share it on Facebook or TikTok or Insta, and then everyone knew and they would correct it. I was never fast enough to get there in time either for any of those. I was very salty about it, actually, I'll have you know. And what do you know? We're continuing with the theme of being absolute tea leaves today. What is going on? I robbed retail store for over $10,000 worth of stuff a few months after they fired me. Holy bejesus, how did you manage that? Oh my goodness. I worked for an undisclosed retail store, big box chain, think Walmart, but not Walmart, but a little more niche, lol. In a small rural area. Because it's such a small area, we didn't have security cameras in the store. That's crazy. Even I live in a very small area, and even our like miniature supermarket has cameras everywhere. Like, and I'm talking like every other ceiling tile has a camera on it. It's crazy. You go in there and you feel like you're in Big Brother. It's insane. One day, HR calls the general manager to talk to him about me and this cashier not getting along. I was floor manager at the time and had sent her home for various things like vaping several times at the register, understandable, wearing slippers to work, etc. Just a terrible employee. Yeah. So, we're talking to HR, and the lady is just being a see you next Tuesday. So I said I'm not doing this anymore, and stood up and went to clock out for lunch. The HR lady started screaming at my manager to not let me leave the room without turning over my keys, and if I tried to come back, they'd have me arrested. They said after this to unemployment, I quit for F's sake. I've heard that that happens a lot. And I know in the UK, if you quit a job, you then can't sign on for like any job seekers benefits for a few months. And I'm assuming then it's the same in the US, because I'm assuming this is US because it says Walmart. Walmart is a US store, isn't it? So I'm guessing that means that it's the same in the US. You can't apply for like unemployment benefits if you quit. He stood in front of the door until I handed them over. So I'm miffed because my hard work is what put our store on the map. My boss got to take his family to Hawaii because of my sale figures. I had an extra key because at some point I had lost mine, so I was given a copy. I later found my old one. My boss was such a piece of crap that he gave his security code to the rest of us key holders so we could use it to show he was at work when he wasn't. Oh, well, there you are then. Oh, I feel the boss actually deserves this, but let's listen on a bit more. Well, after I lost this job, I started spiraling, drinking and doing the naughty nose powder. One night, I got super naughty nose powdered out. I jumped in my car, drove down to the store, used my keys and put in his code to get in and just grabbed as much expensive crap as I could. I put the code back in and left. Here's the crazier part. I got back home and I realised I didn't nick enough. So I turned around and went back and grabbed a bunch more stuff. Oh my God. The kicker, after all that craziness, I forgot the security code. So I just had to run because the alarm was now going off. Oh my goodness. You naughty, naughty little thing, you. That is really bad. And I mean, I'm more concerned about the fact that you were, going and getting naughty nose powdered up constantly. I hope that you've moved on from that now and that you got help for that, because that's not good. A few of my friends still worked there and asked me about it, but I never told anyone before today. The cops tried to question me, saying that they had my car on camera. I drove a white 4-door compact. No way you could tell more detail from the security camera they got from 3 doors over. I hid all the stuff for about 9 months, moved, and never told anyone. My goodness. Isn't it classed as like a federal level crime if you steal anything over $1,000 in America? Or is that just me watching too much like true crime and they're giving false info? Because, like, yeah, that's only stuff that I've seen and I've retained that info for some weird reason. And isn't like a federal level crime that's going to give you some real jail time? Am I correct in thinking that? So don't do that. Also, no naughty nose powder and no excessive drinking. I'm telling you all, I'm warning you all, none of it, thank you very much. Here in the Cult of Void, we sustain ourselves on the misery of the arseholes, okay? So then down in the comments, Reversals the 7 Gear says, this puts my high school vending machine theft to shame. Holy F, bruh. And you were high as F too. That's impressive. Okay, last post. I put the trash my co-worker throws on the ground in her lunchbox. I work overnight outside. My job is easy and relaxing. I watch a lot of YouTube. Of course, it can't be completely perfect, and that's why my co-worker, Mary, sucks. Mary looks 74, but is 54. Oh my god. She never really took care of herself and smokes multiple packs a day. Since we work around diesel and CNG fuels, she's unable to smoke on the job, so she chews multiple sticks of nicotine gum in the most obnoxious way. When she tosses the foil, she misses the bin 90% of the time, mostly because she cannot account for wind speed. And if there's no bin nearby, she drops it at her feet. She also will get multiple water bottles throughout the shift and take a few sips before forgetting about it and getting another one 30 minutes later. I usually find 12 to 16 all around our work area that are, at most, half empty. Mary is lazy, rude, and uses her appearance of old age to get sympathy from our supervisor, so she usually never has to come back from her first break until after lunch. Needless to say, I don't like her. I could not tell, OP, couldn't tell at all. Since March, I've been picking up her little gum foils and going to the fridge and putting them in her lunchbox. The water bottles won't fit, so I just surround her lunchbox with them. The first few times she seemed confused when she would open it up and find 3 or 4 of her gum foils on top of her Tupperware and would drop them right in front of the fridge. I would place them back inside after lunch. The reason I'm confessing is because she keeps her lunchbox in her car now. I'd just pile up all the bottles on top of a car then. I can't stand scruffy people like that just chuck the rubbish everywhere and they don't care and they just leave it around for everyone else to pick up. It's like, oh, you grot bag, pick up your own rubbish. For goodness sake, you're a fully grown adult. Like, looking like a bull bag is not an excuse, all right? So, down in the comments, Schemed Lap says, put them in envelopes and mail them to her house. Maldian81 says, I'll pay for the postage. Then Oversand7935 says, that's my kind of petty. Literally, that would be so funny. She would be so confused and annoyed. But do you know what? Clearly, she's not taking the flipping hint, is she? Because she's still continuing to do it. On that very frustrating note, I think that's where we're going to leave it today. The next few posts might be a little shorter than normal, just because I've got quite a few appointments going on this week. So obviously editing time is minimal. If I have missed a few days and I seem to be posting a little less, that might be why also. I don't know. It depends how it works out and how easy I'm going to find it to keep up with editing, really. But we will only know by the end of the week, won't we? Depends what I've got the energy for at the end of the day. But yeah, if you made it all the way to the end with me and you would like to leave your own confession, then make sure you please do. And I appreciate you for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Of course, that's the way you initiate yourself into the Cult of Void. And why would you not want to be here? Look what we do here. It's great. It's amazing. It's hilarious. You're going to love it. Other than that, whatever it is you're doing for the rest of the day, I hope you have a really good rest of your day. Goodbye.